Why, you might ask, did I choose this subject for us to go out and explore together? How the university might bring its resources, which are generally speaking considered to be both education and research, to the community so that the community and the university can better collaborate for positive social impact. Well, there's a story behind this. There's actually a couple stories, but let me just start with the main story, and maybe we'll get to the other one later. I have been around a long time, and I have a lot of friends who work in the nonprofit area, particularly in trying to build up capacity to enhance our community by working with nonprofit organizations to make sure that they have the best possible skills and the best approaches and the best practices. And I remember one time I was working with a friend of mine who has done an awful lot of community development work. And we had this great idea for doing some training. And I said to her, wouldn't it be awesome if we actually brought in some videos and videoed this training so that even people who weren't able to attend could watch it later and get the benefits. So I thought this was a pretty harmless idea. In fact, I thought it was a positive, beneficial idea, but my friend did not. And she kind of jumped on me and she said, we're tired of universities coming out and treating us like we are rats in a rat lab and studying us and then disappearing back into the university with their information that they gathered and never coming back out to share with us what they've learned. And we are not animals to be studied out here. We are we're a community that's struggling to make ourselves the best that we can be and to solve our problems and to move forward. And I thought about that for a long time, but it didn't really, I believed her. I'd known her for a long time, and I believed that that was an experience that she had and she was sharing with me. But it didn't really resonate with me until I actually took a job as faculty inside the university and I began to understand the problem that she was explaining. Right or wrong, one of the interesting characteristics of the university system, or actually academia, is that educators get rewarded for a couple of things. They get rewarded for bringing in big grant money to do amazing research, and they get grant money by being really good in their subject matter and being able to prove it. And some of the ways that they are able to prove it are, one, by being published a lot, because their research to be published is usually peer reviewed, and if peers look at it and say this is valid, and they do a lot of valid research, then they must really know what they're talking about, and often they do. And two, to be cited by others. So there's this crazy dynamic of faculty members wanting to publish, and have everybody else cite their work to demonstrate how smart they are in their field for the purposes of being able to get the funding so that they can continue to do their research. And although this does actually produce a lot of really important knowledge, it also produces this weird phenomenon where the incentives in the university are not to take your work out to the community and use it for social betterment, but to take it in to other scholars and share it with them so that they'll be aware of what you're doing so that they will cite your work. And I have noticed, not everybody, and please don't get me wrong, there's some wonderful people working out in the community, but I have noticed that there are a lot of academics who tend to they do go out in the community, collect their data, and then take it back into small conferences of like-minded academics to share what they're doing and they somehow, sometimes, maybe too much, miss the opportunity to also take what they've learned back out into the community so that it can be useful. And yes, this is really a thing. And when I realized that that was what my friend was talking about, she was talking about the fact that people come out and study the community, but then they disappear into the university, never to be seen again. And I have been thinking about that a lot. And in fact, I'm trying to think about the scholarship of engagement, engagement being between academia and the community. And I feel that we need to practice what we preach. So I'm very busy here trying to teach you, and hopefully you're learning, teaching each other about participatory practices, and I would like to see the university do a better job of those itself. So I thought that we would start not with finger pointing, what is the university doing wrong, backwards, but with appreciative inquiry, meaning let's go out to the community and ask, if you were to dream your dreams about collaborating with the university, if the university were to come out and say to you, we want to bring our resources, our education capacity and our research capacity out, how could we put those to work for you in the community? I would love to hear what the community would like from the university. Not what the university would like to work on, but what would the community find it important and useful for the university to assist it with. So that is our challenge for this particular project. And I'm going to end this here and let you move on to the steps that you need to take to help me with this challenge.